They were young, rich, and living in one of the most exclusive zip codes in America. Eric and Lyle Menendez were the golden sons of Beverly Hills. Tennis players, private school students, children of a successful Hollywood executive. From the outside, they had it all. But on the night of August 20th, 1989, inside their luxurious mansion at 722 North Elm Drive, everything shattered. The brothers entered the den where their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, were watching TV. They were carrying 12-gauge shotguns. In seconds, the room turned into a bloodbath. Jose was shot point-blank in the back of the head. Kitty tried to run, slipping on the marble floor, screaming for her life. She was shot multiple times in the leg, arm, chest, and face. Her body was nearly unrecognizable. The boys fled the house and called 911 less than an hour later, crying hysterically, "Someone killed my parents." Police arrived to a gruesome scene. But what stood out? Nothing was stolen. There was no sign of forced entry. And oddly, the brothers weren't suspects. Not yet. In the weeks that followed, the Menendez brothers didn't exactly behave like grieving sons. They started spending wildly. Eric bought a Porsche. Lyle leased a Rolex and hired a personal tennis coach. They went on shopping sprees, flew first class, and invested in restaurants. Within 6 months, they had spent nearly $1 million of their inheritance. Still, the police had no solid evidence. No murder weapons, no witnesses. But behind the scenes, something was unraveling. Eric, the younger brother, couldn't handle the guilt. He confided in his psychologist, Dr. Jerome Oziel, and spilled everything. What Eric didn't know was that Dr. Oziel's mistress had been secretly listening, and she went straight to the police. Now the cops had a confession, and they had a motive. On March 8, 1990, both brothers were arrested and charged with first-degree murder. The trial was unlike anything the American public had ever seen. It aired live on court TV. Viewers watched as the Menendez brothers, dressed in matching suits, sat expressionless while the prosecution described their parents' final moments. The case seemed simple. 2 spoiled brats who didn't want to wait for their inheritance. But then, the defense dropped a bombshell. The brothers didn't deny killing their parents, but they claimed it wasn't for money. It was for survival. According to their testimony, their father, Jose Menendez, had been sexually abusing them for years. Eric described being molested from the age of 6. Lyle claimed his father would regularly walk in on him in the shower and touch him inappropriately. Kitty, their mother, they said, knew about the abuse but did nothing to stop it. Instead, she enabled it. Trapped in a cycle of silence and denial, the courtroom was stunned. Some cried. Others scoffed. Was it true? Or a calculated lie to gain sympathy? The brothers claimed the murders were not premeditated, but a panicked reaction to a confrontation earlier that day. They believed their father was about to kill them to keep his secrets hidden. The jury couldn't decide. In fact, 2 separate juries, one for each brother, deadlocked. The judge declared a mistrial. But by 1996, in a second trial, the verdict finally came in. Guilty. 2 counts of first-degree murder. No parole. They were sentenced to life in prison. Decades later, the Menendez case still haunts the public. Was it cold-blooded murder or a final, desperate act of survival? Even today, new generations are discovering the story. On TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, viewers debate the same questions. Were they monsters? Or broken boys who never had a way out? The Menendez brothers, once seen as symbols of American privilege, are now icons of tragedy, trauma, and moral complexity. Their story isn't just about murder. It's about the deadly price of secrets, the failures of justice, and how even in mansions lined with marble, hell can live behind closed doors. What do you believe? Were Lyle and Eric Menendez victims or monsters? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more gripping true crime stories.